Shades on. The reality comes. Shades on. Knowledge wisdom.
Hey everybody, it's me, the reality coach. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. It is indeed a pleasure to be here to share with you all. My God, what a topic. I have some guests that are very, very vocal about how they feel about Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson going from to them to the. He changed his political party from Democrat to Republican. Now, me personally, as I wait for my guests to get on, let me just give you my spin about this. I believe you can change and do whatever you want to do. Because as for me, I'm going to be a Biblican. What would Jesus do? Seems too often we have forgotten about that old saying. Remember when everybody used to wear the wristbands, earrings, necklace, all of that stuff about what would Jesus do? What happened to that? We've become so focused and so self-gratifying until we've forgotten about the common man, the people. Parties should not determine your compassion. And unfortunately, that's what's happening. People are allowing parties to determine whether they have compassion or passion, and it's not right. Well, I see one of my guests is on here, but as I was stating, I am one that is all about what is right for the people. And people have a right to do what they want to do in this society because everything is so acceptable. You can darn near walk down the street nude and it not be against the law. I didn't say you can. Now, don't y'all go out there and quote me on this. That's why I put that disclaimer there. You can darn near do it because now some people just walk around in a bikini top and some cut-up shorts. I can't even say what they really are. But nonetheless, let me get Mr. Ruffin on here. And like I said, my whole premise is what do you think? What I think doesn't matter. It's all about what you think on your personal opinion. My personal opinion, you can do what you want to do as long as you're keeping the concern for the people in mind. But it's kind of dangerous to be a double-minded man. Hey, Mr. Ruffin, how are you?
Morning, Lady Dot. What's going on?
Nothing much, nothing much. I'm going to make this screen a little more something going on here. Let me change it to this one and see if there we go. That's what I wanted. I wanted us to be big together because we got a lot. Okay, now I explained to the people my opinion. Now I got gray shades on because this is a great topic as well as great topic that a lot of people are afraid to touch. And see, you can kind of see the mirror. See, you can see us looking at each other because we're reflecting back at ourselves. I see you got your shades on. So it's getting ready to be real. So before you talk about somebody else, you better do the real deal with your own self because this is getting ready to be real voices that's bringing you a choice of hope, help, and healing. Remember, your voice gives you a choice. And Mr. Ruffin, I appreciate you coming on to share your voice, to give people a choice of hope, help, and healing.
Well, I guess that depends on if they want our voice to be the choice.
You know what? See, that's why I said maybe with you, because I already know who I'm dealing with. But we have another guest that's supposed to join us because she is just livid about what has happened with our mayor. So, Reggie, without further ado, please introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what it is that you do in the community.
Well, I'm Reggie Ruffin. I'm the chairperson of the Just Cause Coalition. I founded it a few years ago, and it's basically for the sole purpose of trying to help people who are less fortunate than others to navigate themselves through the justice system. I help people with referrals and sometimes even give them free advice on on how to manage whatever their pending issues are. I've been doing this for like the past 6 years, and I'm here now, and I'm still trying to do what I can. But one of my other talents is that I do some consulting from time to time, and I get on the shows with interesting people like yourself to share knowledge and wisdom as to what we as blacks having to maintain, having to manage, dealing with a justice system that's really out to get you. And a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the things they do now, they are definitely violating the Constitution in so many ways. And your due process, civil rights, those are some of the problems that I had with Mayor Johnson. And as I was stating with Robert Ashley Saturday, is that Mayor Johnson was acting like a Republican when he first got in office, and people just was not paying no mind to it. They didn't think anything about it. So it does not surprise me that he's finally taken off his makeup and starting to take off his mask, and now he's putting his white sheet on top of his head. So that's the way I feel about it. So
okay, well, it's time to get real. Let me say this. Well, I don't have a problem with people changing their mind about what it is that they want to do with their own lives. But when you come in one way and you don't give any indication that you're going to be another way, then I don't like deceit. But then again, I can't say that he's being deceitful because I don't know why he decided to go from them Democrats to Republican. I have no idea why he decided to do that. But nonetheless, that is what he's decided to do. And I ain't mad at him. I just want to know who I'm dealing with. Now, Mr. Johnson, you need to let me know who I'm dealing with. If you're going to be good to everybody, then that's fine. But if you're going to get in these party lines to be a part of a system, which I know Dallas has a lot of them, systems that are not right, you might not need to do anything other than step down. Because if you're not going to do what's right, we got enough crooked politicians in these seats now. We got enough double-minded people. We got enough wishy-washy mindsets going on. So if people are not getting in these seats to do what they say that they're there to do, whether it's for judicial reform, whether it's to make sure that health care is fair, to make sure people get the financial needs met, whatever you're there for, and you put out those little push cards, make sure you're standing on your push card because you pushing us to vote for you, and we're voting because we want you to do what you say you're going to do. Now, I don't know much about Dallas mayor, but I do know about the Dallas judicial system, and it is not pretty. And I can honestly say I am a little upset with them Democrats. I'm going to tell you why. Because everyone knows, and I talk about it. Let me put these shades on because this is the truth. You may not want to hear what your show getting ready. May not want to see what you're getting ready to hear. Everybody knows that I am in the middle of the fight of my life for my child. And Reggie, thank you to Just Cause for being there with me. He has been here with me, y'all, every step of the way, giving me sound advice. Whether I like it or not, this man is true to the cause, and he's not about your feelings. He's about the law and what is right. And that is what I love about him, and he's loyal. He's loyal to his commitment. He is not fighting for Just Cause yet. He's not fighting because he's fighting for a cause. So he gave himself the right name. But nonetheless, back to what I'm saying. Everyone that did this, everyone that sat in the trial of Dorothy Patterson, everyone that watched this debauchery of injustice go on, knowing that there was DNA to clear this young man, they were all Democrats. People,
well,
most of the people look like me. Well, let me hold on. Most of the people look like me. The ones that made the decision didn't look like me. But the ones that took part in making sure that the decision was upheld look like me. That's all I got to say. You were there.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, and speaking of debauchery, I wanted to just add the point. No, I don't have a problem with anything Eric Johnson done. I mean, he's a grown man. He does what he wants. It's the way he misled the Democratic Party into believing that he was on their team, and then he waited till after he ran unopposed and got reelected without anyone going against him, because if the Democratic Party had known that he was going to defect as soon as he got sworn in, they would have had somebody running against him. That's where they got misled and done wrong. And that's the only part I have a problem with, is the fact that he stacked the deck all in his favor and he made it all work out for him. So I even doubt that he's going to even be a mayor in a couple of years, because I think I'm like, if Cornyn steps down and if Cornyn's going to make him his successor, okay, then yeah, he's already grooming himself to take that seat. But he's doing it at the expense of walking over the heads, back, and necks of his constituents that trusted that he was going to still be in there. I don't really give two flips on a flop about Republican or Democrat, because I don't trust neither one of them, because like you said earlier, they've all trampled on our rights, because it's the haves versus the have-nots is what you're dealing with right now. And those that have not are the ones that are suffering. He could jump ship. He can do that. He can become a libertarian next day. He can become a Presbyterian the other day, and it wouldn't bother me. But I will say, pardon my candor, he left a lot of people dumber than dog shit because of what he done. Because why? He misled people. He misled the Democratic Party chair, and Carl Coleman is the chairperson now, that I will be speaking with him in real soon in the near future about how do we take this problem head on, because I had been warning people about Eric Johnson since he got in office, mainly in part because of the way he handled things on my case, and then saw how he handled other people in other cases.
Okay, wait just a second. Okay, so for people who don't understand, when you're saying how he handled your case, what do you mean by how he handled your case? He's not a lawyer. He's not the defense
Actually,
attorney.
he is.
Well, I'm saying he's not the lawyer that. Well, I didn't know he was a lawyer, but okay, great news. He's not the one that represented you. So how?
It's not about that. It's the fact that mayor, city council, such and such, such and such, they have an obligation that when they're presented with a problem, especially a moral issue concerning official oppression, theft, filing false reports under the color of authority, stealing and seizing property, when you bring these facts, not accusations, facts to them, they're supposed to be trying to fix these things, not throwing up this crock that they're going to call the police oversight committee, and then talk about they got the committee going, but they only got a $300,000 a month. I mean a year budget, which
okay. Hold on, Mr. Ruffin. I want to make sure that people understand what you're saying. Now, you're saying anything that's dealing with not, I guess, felony, not so much as felony offenses, but something like, because see, I'm getting confused because does he know about the case with my son, do you think, or do they know about all cases, or do you have to actually present that to
I'm certain he knows it because it was on the news, but at the end of the day, you did go down there, you did present this case to them, you talked to them about it, and what did they do? They just took your name and number down, ain't called you back yet, have they?
They didn't even take my name and number.
Oh, well, then there you go. That let you know what that meant. That's the part of what I'm talking about when I say that any city official, they swear and take an oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and uphold the citizens to equal protection by law. These are duties that they're supposed to be doing anyway. And when they have these problems brought up to them, they're supposed to adhere to them. Not make a false and fake organization that's only going to enable them to get away with the crimes, just like he made that little pretentious terabyte thing that The police records were all erased and everything because some unscrupulous individual
Oh,
deleted
you
the
got me
records.
scratching my head. You got me scratching my. You know, when people like me get to scratching their head, you know. I'm just saying. You
Well,
got me.
I tell you what, Google the terabyte information. You'll
Oh
see
no,
what
no,
I'm talking.
I'm with you on that. I'm just saying, call it out, call it like it
Well,
is.
yeah, all right. Yeah, well,
Mhm.
I'm gonna line them up and put it down. These are the things that he had already done before he shook some people's world with this shattering announcement. He he manipulated the statute limitations on that, just like he manipulated statute limitations on my case, claiming claiming that you gotta be anything they investigate gotta be within the past 6 months. But yet the DOJ's mandate states that you can bring back stuff from 2 years ago. When they closed the records building down during COVID, and I mean, this is just me speculating at this point. They went down there, and I'm alleging they went there. They went in and started troubleshooting, deleting, and throwing out files that would have incriminated the police on numerous other cases of official oppression, other cases of assault, other cases of police officers killing people while on duty.
Let me
And
let me pause you one moment right there.
sure,
Now, let me say this. Now, he's right, but see, when they think that they have stacked the deck in favor of them, they leave things. See, in this case, I believe what you're saying about them doing what they did with the terabytes. I believe that wholeheartedly. In the Dorothy Patterson case, they had all their ducks in a row. We both witnessed how they had it. They had the appellate attorney already in the courtroom watching the case that they thought that I was going to go with. So sometimes y'all slippers count, Dallas County, and you slipped up on one or two. Now they ain't gonna get them all right, but he is exactly right with what he's saying. They do that. They will lose information, say whatever they have to say to make it look like they have lost that information. Period. It's the
right,
truth.
right, because they didn't lose the information to help the suspects or help the citizens for them committing criminal acts. That was to help the police. Because I mean, there
Hold
are
on, we got our other guest
so
here.
many tragic examples of
Hold on
police
one
officers.
second. Let me bring on
Right.
this other guest who agrees, who is in agreement with. Oh, she's ready. She's on fire, y'all.
Or bring our own then.
Miss Yolanda. I don't know how to make me small and make us all big. I don't know. Well, okay. Well, y'all, we just gonna roll like this. I can see you. But Miss Yolanda, can you introduce yourself and tell us what it is that you're doing in the community to be to even want to be concerned with all of this stuff?
Well, I'm working in the community. I was working with NAACP to improve the vote, but now I have a new ministry. I'm working with veterans to get them connected and aware of technology. Uh, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so with that being said, you said something that was key. You were working with the NAACP to
Yes,
get people to vote.
yes.
Well, why are you using the word was is as though it's past tense?
Because there were some things going on with the Mesquite NAACP I wasn't comfortable with, and I called the president out on it, and they no longer communicate with me. They block me on every opportunity I try to talk to them about it, even trying to go through a minister to set up a meeting. They block that out. So
can you give more? I mean, you're saying this, and can you give any more detail as to why you feel as though you were blocked out? Because
yes.
we need people like you out here that's helping people get in tune with in alignment with voting.
Yes. Their finances were off. There was some financial disclosure that they didn't do, and I knew that they needed to balance the budget. And when I called him out on that to balance the budget, he did not want to balance the budget. He said that their budget was balanced, And I told them, no, it's not, because I still have some money that belongs to the NAACP. I still have it in my office in an envelope. I have money and items, and they have items too that I had bought, that had bought has the chair that I never received back. I never received refunds for. The gentleman who bought the booklets, they refunded him within a week. But me, they have not refunded at all. And that was the first inaugural banquet back in, what was it, 2019? 2021, 19, 20. It was before it was right in the middle of the pandemic. So I'm waiting on Mr. Brown and the secretary, Mrs. Brown, to get back with me. I believe they have a banquet coming up, and the items they're using at the banquet, I believe, are the items that I purchased.
Well, you just took
Well,
my next question out of my mouth. I was going to ask you, wasn't that, isn't that Mr. Brown? I forget his first name, but
Henry.
Henry Brown. Okay, yeah, he's from Mississippi.
Yeah, they have not refunded me, and they have not balanced the books. It's really suspicious. There was a couple of things that I pointed out to the body, and most of them said they wanted to talk about it and wanted to meet, but he refused to meet with us. He refused to meet with me. And I still have the money. I still have some items, and he still has my items. And I have not been refunded like they refunded the gentleman who paid for the books.
okay.
I don't. They
Well,
refunded him fully within a week or two of the banquet being over, and I am still waiting a couple of years for my refund and
well,
for the books.
Standoff.
well, in all fairness, perhaps one day we can get Mr. Brown to come and talk about this, the what you are saying. I won't say allegation, because you're verbatim about what you're stating. This is
Oh
something
yes,
that you know is going on because it's your situation. So, in all fairness to Mr. Brown, who is the Mesquite NAACP president, we will. I'll reach out to him and see if I can get an opportunity for him to meet with you so this can be resolved, so we can not even have that issue going on anymore, because we need people involved in the voting movement for people
yes.
who are wanting fairness. So I hate that this is going on, but this is atypical of people that look like us. We always seem to have issues. Whether
Issues
and
with
there can
finance,
be
even the membership. I joined, a friend of mine joined, and I joined the Dallas chapter, and within a couple of weeks we received a card. I paid for 2 years with the Mesquite NAACP and never received a NAACP card. So my concern is, why is Dallas able to get me a card within a few weeks? I have that card, but Mesquite, I paid my dues twice and I've yet to receive a card, and they say
well.
they are a unit.
Okay, well, needless to say, let's get back to why we are here. And Miss Yolanda, thank you for that. And like I said, I'll reach out to Mr. Brown and see if we can get some resolve or some resolution to what you're stating, and give him a chance to give his opinion about that, because it's only fair. But
Yes.
nonetheless, we're
Are you
here
talking
about,
about the mayor this morning?
yes, ma'am, and I know you have a lot to say. Mr. Ruffin was saying that that he didn't like the fact that the mayor has really been deceptive in his candidacy, because he made it look as though he was really going to be with the Democratic Party, meaning their views, their issues, their stance, all of that. And then he turns around and he goes with Republican. But Mr. Ruffin believes that Mr. Johnson has always displayed a Republican characteristic. Am I right with saying that, Mr. Ruffin?
That's right. Right. If the slither fits, it must be a snake. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
no, Lord
I
Jesus.
was had that battle going on with the city manager. I had to dig into that. I'm like, okay, Mr. Johnson, Eric, your ideas are not quite aligned with what we think they should be aligned. So for my first alarm was looking at the disagreement with him and the city manager, and this, although it was a surprise to me because of his background, it is not a big surprise, and it is a, like you said, it is disillusioning. It's not fair to those of us who felt and who supported him. I went to a couple of functions and I sent money to his campaign. And I am, even though Republicans and I share some of the ideals, I don't support the Republican Party at its current, the way it's operating at this moment.
And
Right.
see, I like the way you said that, and that's my stance on it all. I support whoever's doing what is best for the people, and it sounds like you're in that same wavelength, but you do a totality of everything, and then you go with the party according to that. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, the population of Dallas requires him to think differently, but he's not going the way. The majority of Dallas now is minority, and if he becomes a Republican, to me, it looks more financial and political than you representing the people of Dallas. Because most of the people of Dallas, even those who don't vote, think the way the Democratic Party is going at the moment. Uh, you have a heavy Catholic population because you have a heavy Hispanic, and they believe in some of those things. As a Baptist, there are some things I agree with them, but there are some things I don't agree with politically. You cannot. I'm a Christian, just like most people who are Republican are Christian, but people who are Muslim and Catholic and Jewish, they are also American. So you can't ask them to ignore their faith and what their faith allows them to do to practice and push Christianity. That's not the way Christians are supposed to operate. We're supposed to
Well,
operate with love first.
well, honey, if you can look, it ain't but about. Well, let me not say that, Lord. Thank you. Well, from what I see, will the real Christian please take a stand? Please come to
uh,
the front of the church,
well,
please.
Yolanda, let me throw this question out because you got a background in politics and whatnot. Do you believe that if the Democrats knew that he was going to defect and become a Republican, you think he would have still ran unopposed?
Uh, No, he would not have run unopposed if they knew about it. But I'm sure that they knew and they were aware of some things with him hanging out. Because if I'm just a little bit political, and you are a politician, you knew about this. I think the city manager was giving us a hint
Yeah, he
because
was throwing some hints.
the city manager put him on blast not for some reason, and we didn't quite get it. We just questioned it, and then this
Right.
revelation came this week, and in my mind I went, oh, that's why you were acting that way. You were already uh not in bed with the enemy, but you were already looking at the greener side.
Well, as I use the term Saturday, I say he was spooning and cooning.
Yes.
So he was already doing that. And I mean,
Well,
he did that. He did that 2 years ago when he after he just not too long got in and threw Chief Hall under the bus, and then had Cornyn coming in trying to shake the pom poms, trying to agitate everything on, and
Yeah.
then was even trying to quote Chief Brown about how black people need police more than anybody else, but yet we the ones calling for help all the time, but we the ones out here protesting.
Okay.
So
well, isn't that the American? Wait, y'all, hold on. But that's the political way. You get out here and
But
do this grassroots work, and you don't get no results. Now you know that's
But
the
look
way
at
it
the way
goes.
they handled the people who were protesting. I've got friends who were educators who were on that bridge that night, and they got hit with bullets and different things. What
right,
happened that we were protesting? They were protesting. I wasn't there because I have to be home taking care of my husband. But what are you doing to educated people that you got to shoot at them? We think differently. We're going to protest, but we protest differently. Now you have these other people who are protesting, and they don't get the bullet treatment. They get the their permit allows them to protest, and they don't get the same treatment. Yes, that's the American way to protest, but how those protesters are handled, that's where the problem becomes. That's one of the problems I have.
exactly.
That is a
Well,
big problem, that we were on that bridge protesting and you start shooting at us with rubber bullets. But when they were protesting, they were allowed to protest without that problem. I live downtown, and a
so
bunch
wait
of
just a second, Miss Yolanda. Let me clarify. I need to know. Let's call a spade a spade. Are we talking about black people when we're protesting? Then we talking about white people. White people didn't get shot with rubber bullets, but we did. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying? Black
we
people.
were,
I'm
That's
black.
what
I'm
she's
a we.
saying.
Okay, I
yeah.
just want to make people. We don't own. We are the real. This is the real deal with the reality, because we don't have to sugarcoat here, because
Yeah.
we are real voices that's going to give people choices of hope, help, and help, and healing. It's time to heal. It's time to stop backdooring who we are. We're Black people. We need to start coming together and start fighting and banding together like we used to do. Now we don't. And now my biggest thing too, even with the Republicans, see, the Republicans don't want nobody that's gonna stand up for what's right. I don't care if it's right, if it's wrong, if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And to me, if the Republicans want somebody that's going to be fair and the Democrats want somebody to be fair, put me at the table. I ran for city council. I wasn't about who's a Republican, who's a Democrat. I'm going to do what's best for the people because my compassion in my heart.
And see, my problem isn't that we have a difference in opinion. I listen to and talk to Republicans all the time. We have amicable disagreements. My problem is that when we protest and when we ask for something, we are treated differently. I mean, they just passed the Crown Act, and look at the young man at the school. They're already bugging him about his hair, even though the Crown Act just passed, this August to September? Why are you worried about his hair? Why are you not worried that the young man is at school? He's not being a problem. Ignore his hair. You know, hair does not make a man.
Okay, Miss Yolanda, for people who don't read and don't, you know, let's just, now I don't let nobody make it on these things. You saying the Crown Act, I be the one that got me a crown and put it on my head and start acting because I don't know what you mean.
Oh, this is the act where it says you can't discriminate against someone because of their hairstyle. Well, the hairstyle, the main thing it was talking about discriminating against was when you wear locks or when you wear your hair in a natural style. Many people are choosing that way because it's more, it's just stylish and it's more healthy for your hair.
Yeah, it's less manageable. You don't have to do a whole lot.
You don't have to pay. You don't have to. When I used to relax my hair, I spent 2 or 3 hours every Saturday in the beauty shop because I had to get it washed and hair.
Watch out there now. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute, honey. Don't be talking about the beauty shop, you know.
But no problem. But now now that I wear my hair naturally, I'm only going once every 6 weeks, and my hair is healthy. There's nothing wrong with you the way you want to wear your hair. But my point is, hair does not make the person. That young man spoke well on television. Yes, his hair was up in locks, but it was up and it was not bothering anyone. And for someone who's supposed to be educating this young man about history and math and social justice and all the other parts of school, what does his hair have to do with that? I taught in Dallas for years with my hair in locks, and I always had the better scores, my kids performed well. Did my hair have anything to do with it? No, it was my care, my knowledge, and my ability to get the students to trust that I was giving them a strong education. It had nothing to do with the way I wore my hair.
Okay, so the Crown Act was put in place because it was put there to not allow people to be discriminated against by the way that they're wearing their hair.
Yeah.
Right. Which
is and why... so that goes back to that's another difference, the way you're treated. Eric Johnson knew this and he deceived the people of Dallas. That's not cool what he did. If you were going to do that, you should have told us so we could have had the option of having someone else in that arena with you.
So what?
You should have been forward.
So why? Okay, now I haven't been keeping up with because I don't really keep up with Republican, Democrat, Eric, none of them because I'm so salty with Dallas County right now and that whole system they got going on. I don't believe none of them no good. I'm sorry, I don't care if they Republican, Democrat, whatever, but I do know that it was Democrats that did the debauchery of injustice that I have sat through and watched myself. But nonetheless, what did Mayor Johnson? Well, I guess I'm gonna call him Mayor Johnson. Y'all can call him what you want. I'm gonna still let him wear his title.
I'm still gonna try to keep it PG-13 because there's a lot of things I can call him right now.
Yeah, I think the word deceptive is good right here because if we had been a little bit more aware, and he's acting at this point right here. You know, he's acting at this point. I don't go to the dealership and look at a Cadillac all day and get a deal on a Cadillac and then run over to the Mercedes place and buy a Mercedes. If I've made that commitment to the people at the Cadillac dealership that I'm going to buy that, I'm not going to take what they did and go over and run over to the Mercedes dealership and buy a Mercedes.
Well, now if they give it to you free, you will.
That's not, if they give it to me free, that's not buying. That's free.
That's not
Well,
buying,
but
right?
you'll change your mind.
Okay, if I change my mind, but if I have given them the idea that I'm buying this Cadillac, I picked out my color, the serviceman has told the service department to get this car ready, she'll be back with her check, and then I'm just using it as an example. Deceptive practices.
Well,
We
what
have
I'm
enough
saying is,
deceptive. But
even
my
with your example, what I'm saying is, when you can be bought, you will do whatever you got to do, or when you can
yeah,
be given something. That's all I'm trying to make a point. Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. But if you can go over there, you're gonna spend $20,000 where you can get a $40,000 car free. I guarantee you that Cadillac gonna be on that lot, and that's what happens most of the time with a lot of the politicians.
But with Eric, he's a politician, and you have been in this party. You should have been fair and not been deceptive, because, like I said, the people he represent who put him there, they don't think Republican. They may have some Republican values, but they support more the Democratic Party. Uh, there's a lot of things Republicans do that I agree with, but there's more that they do that I disagree with. I can't support them right now because they have a lot of they have many things I don't agree with.
Okay, so when you say how much longer is Mayor Johnson in that seat?
4
Well,
years.
uh-huh.
So
Well, since
he's got 4 more years, or
Right.
so now he waited until after how long when was the election? Was it May?
Let me break it down in some
yeah, he did like
instances that I
Christian
think
Cinema
everybody
did.
can understand.
He did like
Okay, but
Christian
wait a minute. I'm
Cinema.
trying to make sure that people understand when he went into office. Wasn't it May for this next term?
2019 when he went in.
Uh-huh.
So how long does the mayor sit in the seat?
4 years.
So 2019, well, he's almost out the seat now, right?
He took office January 2019. I think it was January or April, but he got sworn in. In any regard,
Well,
Corner's supposed to be resigning in the next 2 years, so he's grooming himself to take Corner. So he wants to join the Senate seat, and like I said, to me, it's like the equivalent of, okay, you married somebody. You all were happily married. You renewed your vows, and then after you renewed the vows, he all of a sudden drops a bomb on you and marries somebody else and moves in with them. That's basically the equivalent of what Eric Johnson did by giving the Democratic Party the notion that he was going to be in it for this next term. So that's about the best way I can put it out there to where it's not too convoluted.
Well, he's
However,
almost out of turn. Well, 21, 22, 23, 24. So he's almost out this year.
But the point is, the people who elected him and trusted him were not Republican. Deception. Right. We were. I didn't vote for him in office. I voted in Mesquite for the mayor. But the people there in Dallas, they voted him in. They voted him in as a Democrat. He did the Christian Cinema thing, and that's not cool.
What's the Christian Cinema thing?
She did the same. He's a Democrat that changed over to the Republican Party.
Right, because since he ran unopposed, there was no sense in having an election. Because no one bid it in to run against him. So he had a free walk-in to his mandate. Now that he's mandated as mayor, now he wants to flip the mandate. Now he's saying he's Republican.
So let me say this.
That's stabbing in the throat right there.
Okay, well, wasn't that okay? So let me say this. In today's time, we as a people must be wise as serpents, gentle as dove. Wasn't that a kind of like a dead giveaway? If the Republican Party wasn't going to put anybody in, why wouldn't they put a candidate in?
No, he's talking about democratically. He didn't have a candidate. Democratic.
Okay. He ran as a Democrat, but then gets the mandate and now he turns Republican. Now, if he wanted to be a Republican, he could have announced that before the election, and that would have gave them time to come with another candidate. That way, he would have fought fair and try to win. But see, he knew if he'd have switched like that before this election, he wouldn't have got reelected.
He wouldn't have gotten reelected.
That's the whole bottom line.
Okay, so what would you all say to people? Like, let me say it this way: if we know that the deck is kind of stacked against a lot of Black people. It's stacked against us. So why wouldn't we want a Black Republican in the seat? Do we feel as though we wouldn't trust a Black being a Republican? Is that what I'm understanding? But I know I'm not. But I'm just putting it out
how
there.
many Black Republicans can you trust right now? Raise your hand. I'll wait. Go ahead. Name one.
I'm not raising my hand.
All right.
Well, how many Democrats can you trust right now? Raise your hand. I'll
Not
wait.
many, not many, but I think I trust more of them than I would this situation.
You better
because
trust the
at least John Wiley Price is going to stay the same. At least Crusoe is staying the same. At least
now don't you now you know that's a name that you all not mentioned to me.
And I did raise my hand because I trust them more, because not many people in politics are 100% honest. You have to admit they're all, people say Biden is this, Biden is that. Everyone on that level has their hand in somebody's pocket, or somebody has their hand in their pocket. So you can't say that Biden is more deceptive than Trump. Everyone on that level. The only people we can influence and affect are local. And that's why Eric is so deceptive, because he's at the local level. I can sit at church and look over and see Eric or see politicians. But I'll never see Biden or Trump. The chances of me seeing them are very small. But I see Eric. He affects what goes on. I'm in Dallas County, even though he's mayor of Dallas. His influence and his talk has something to do with what goes on in Dallas County. That's deceptive to a big group of people from Rockwall all the way over to Arlington, up to Arlington.
Miss Yolanda, although we live in Mesquite, you get into trouble, you got to go deal with Mayor of Dallas County. You got to go deal with them.
I have to deal with he's the mayor of Dallas. I have to go deal with the district attorney's office or the sheriff's department, which is county and which is state. I don't deal with Eric at all.
But the mayor he has to know what's going on when political numbers are what get you in these seats.
Okay. Democratic votes, he ran unopposed, and that's what got him in that seat. Because because we were like, okay, we got another Democrat in here, let's all throw our weight behind him. It's like all red. You got two other people running with all red. I'm suspicious of Eric Johnson, because now you're trying to say that because you're Black, everybody's gonna vote for you now. And if you go after all red, the same seat that all red is going for, what is really going on? It's like Tim Scott.
Bottom line is Eric Johnson wants to be the Tim Scott of Texas. That's just as simple as that.
Who is Tim Scott?
He's the Black guy running for president. He's in the primary.
He's senator from South Carolina, but let's just say he thinks he's Santos or somebody.
He's Uncle Tom number 3.
Oh, Lord.
He's Uncle Tom number 3.
I was waiting for somebody to put it out there.
I'll put it out there. He's Uncle Tom number 3. Police are stopping. He's talking about the history of police stopping him because he's a Black man. But then he's got his wolf clothing. He's got his sheep clothing over his wolf attitude. He's going for power instead of correct. The same things are happening to him that are happening to us, and he's not admitting it. He's talking out of the side of his mouth. What does that cameo used to say? Talking out of the side of your neck.
Right. And then the sad part about him,
their neck. Remember, net work. Work that neck.
Immigrated here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how ignorant can you be to make that statement come out of your mouth, being a Black man, that we immigrated to America from Africa?
Yeah.
And this is the one that's running for presidency.
Right.
People, get ready. There's a train coming.
Oh, not for him.
Oh, well, I'm saying a train wreck coming. So get ready. Oh, well. If he's letting you know that's how he feel about your people coming over here. His people.
His people. Right. I don't care how much bleach he puts on. That's a Black man. He
Tim
looks
Scott has
100%
much
black.
he has about as much chance of being president than I do. So I'm not worried about him at all. The only thing he's doing now, he's trying to suck up to Trump. He won't try to spoon with Trump, hoping that Trump will make him his running mate and then try to run as a vice president. That's the only thing he's interested in. That's the whole reason why he's doing all this.
Well, at least we know we got a fool.
Hey,
you got about 15 fools. You got about 15 fools.
But you can't see them. Trump.
Yeah, you see them. You see them because they. How are you gonna
didn't see Eric? Nobody.
How you gonna be a candidate against somebody?
No, I ain't gonna say nobody. I saw Eric a mile away.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, we saw Eric. We saw him.
How did he get in there on the Democratic ticket then? So why are we upset? Why is everybody upset with him? If you saw him in the beginning.
Once again.
Okay.
I'm not upset.
Okay.
All he did was just prove me right because I had some of my own friends that was like judges sitting up there calling this clown a visionary. Like, this is the man who's going to turn Dallas and turn it to the next generation. Going to make this.
What vision What vision was he going to see? What vision was he seeing when you can call 911 right now in Dallas County and get told, "Hold on, we're busy. Call back." So what was they going to see? What vision did he have?
You know, I be on that part. Just like I told you about what happened when I went and spoke to Jasmine Crockett about the chicanery that was going on down at City Hall. And her assistant told me that Ms. Crockett is not going to be involved with local politics in Dallas, that you just need to go down there and talk to the mayor's office about it. I said, I wouldn't be talking to you if it hadn't been for the fact I can't talk to them. When people out here trying to get their rights represented, they don't want to get flipped around like a turnstile and say, come back in 4 years. So that's basically all you're saying. You're not going to do anything because you done got elected. You done got the endorsement. You're in the seat. Now that you're in the seat, you don't give a damn. I mean,
and you put out all the push cards, and that's why I'm telling people you got to follow people's character. People show you who they are. You just got to believe it. When people are jumping on your band, when they're running for office, you can get them on the phone. If you say you're getting ready to go out and put out a door knock and do the canvassing for them, you're their best friend.
Hey, look, they be at the restaurant, they'll swipe your meals. If you put gas in your car, they fill up your tank. Oh, they do all types of shit when they try to get in. But once they get that seat, they don't know you no more.
That once they get that seat, they probably want to clap.
That part. To give you an idea, Carolyn King Arnold actually put her arm around me, took a picture with me at City Hall as if she was trying to show that she's looking out for her constituents. Only thing she was doing was making damn sure that when she put down my name in there, she know who I was. So if she get a phone call saying Reggie Ruffin wants to talk to you, she ain't available. That's all that was. Well,
let me tell you. DA Cruzo, however you want to say it, I always say it backwards, looked me in my face and told me that he felt my pain and all of this stuff, and this stuff that I've received underneath his watch with my 2 children is almost unbearable, and I supported him. You know, I'm just saying.
Well, but hey, I did the same thing with Craig Watkins, and it almost got me 20 years in prison. So I feel your pain on that too.
Again, Miss Dorothy, when you get to a certain level, your hands, people's hands are in your pocket and your hand is in their pocket. You hook up people you know. You hook up people you know. And people when you don't know and you're going down there without a hookup. You know, I'm an educator and I got where I was not because of what I know, but because of who I know. America still operates on that. We're in Texas. It's a good old boy system. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Yeah. We're in Texas.
Well, I thought that. Well, I mean, Jasmine Crockett know me by name and face.
Okay. But she knows somebody. Okay, it's who you know. She knows you, but she knows me. She knows my name. But
she knows you, but she feel like she don't owe you. That's what the problem is.
Oh, okay. Well, help me understand, because I was getting ready to say, okay. Well, let me put my shades.
It's a good old boy system. You hook up with people you know.
Right. Okay. So now,
when they going in, they know you. When they when they get in, they don't owe you.
Well,
I don't care if you gave her a $10,000 check. She don't know you. It depends on what the issue's about and what it's concerning. She don't know you.
oh, your 10,000,
So,
$10.
and I'm just saying, don't know by example. But at the end of the day, well, what
I know
I've
by
seen
example.
so far seems like that's no longer just speculation. Because like I said, I am going to be reaching out to Miss Crockett again to make sure that we must have gotten off. Maybe it was a bad connection on the cell or something. Maybe that she just, I don't know. Maybe she just didn't feel like talking to nobody that day. I don't know. But I think now that Eric got everybody's attention now, I think they would be wanting to check out things in Dallas a little bit more often now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's what I think.
Okay, so before we get ready to get off here, Miss Yolanda, what would you say to Eric, to Mayor Johnson, if you were to be in front of him right now? What words of wisdom would you give him?
I would not, because not because I wouldn't have anything to say, but am I going to make a difference? He's made up his mind and he's going with the political win. So I would not have much to say to him except, how you doing, Mayor Johnson? And I would keep on going, because he has made those decisions. He's been deceptive. And you, like you said, when somebody shows you their character, believe them. So why am I talking to, if I was a citizen of Dallas, why would I be talking to him? I need to talk to someone else now, because I can't influence Eric, because somebody else is in his pocket that has more influence and more money than me. So he's not going to hear anything I say, even if I'm speaking truth. What I can do is I can influence some of those smaller people, try to influence some people who are at my level, like in Mesquite. I can try to reach out to people in Mesquite that I might know. But far as the city of Dallas and what goes on there, I'm going to use what I can use in the city of Dallas. But Mayor Johnson and I will just have a social conversation. How you doing? My name is Yolanda. This is my nonprofit, and if you're interested, here's my card. Because he's made up his mind.
Okay, great. That's honest and fair. Reggie, real quickly, what would you say to him? What do you have any words of wisdom for him as he goes forward?
All I can say is I hope this all was worth it for you, because that's the only thing I'm gonna have to put on that. Because now my focus was about trying to keep him from being mayor. Now keeping him out of the Senate seat is even a much better plan. He wants to walk into the Senate seat with Cornyn's blessing, feeling that he'll be a lock after that.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to start showing and sharing why he's not trustworthy. Why you cannot depend on this man? Why is he so unreliable?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing Eric Johnson cares about is Eric Johnson.
Well, isn't that most politicians?
We have too many political celebrities in office, not political advocates. We need our public figures to be representing the constituents, not representing themselves. Not trying to see how many cars they can get, houses they can get, gold bars they can get.
That's politics now. That's politics now. We need to revise some of those rules, because it's too many people have their hands in the pocket. It's too easy to cheat. Look at the amount of people who cheated on the money that was supposed to help small businesses. All you had to do, if I'd known it was so easy, I would have sent my name in and got that $20,000. Those people aren't getting a repercussion because of that. That money is gone. All they did was fill out the paperwork that said they had a business.
The people that they want to pick on and scare are getting repercussions. Now, the people that got the money to pay it back, ain't nothing going on with them. But they're not going to
have to pay that money back. They got that money is gone.
They're not. They ate that up like a catfish buffet. They ate it up. It wasn't hardly nothing left for anybody. I mean, heck, I tried to get some of that. I couldn't even get $5,000 out of it.
Well, let me say this, Reggie. I think what you said is paramount, and it needs to be put on a shirt. So you might want to put your disclaimer out there. That's your saying, showing and sharing right now. This is what we need to do: show and share. But like I said, this is why I wear the shades, because a lot of times people don't even want to see the truth, but people will listen to gossip all day. They'll listen to anything. Like now, right. They will listen to this. And I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to put it out there. Any candidate that wants to come on here with a real voice and tell your story, like I'm offering Mr. Brown, because he's been put on the table. He is a candidate. He is the NAACP president of Mesquite. I put that on the table. Any candidate that's running for any upcoming office. Mr. Johnson, if you want an opportunity to give a good explanation to people who are not trying to be politically correct, you're welcome to reach out to me.
All right,
you can find me any and everywhere. But I know more than likely that won't happen because I'm too low on the totem pole.
Try reaching out to Carter Coleman. He would probably be, I'm sure he would love to get on the show and talk about this one because he's pissed. And I mean, from what I saw, what he said Saturday, he's really upset.
Okay, for the people who don't know, who is Carter Coleman?
He's the Democratic Party chair for Dallas County.
Yeah, he is not. He didn't have a good weekend for sure.
Oh no,
I thought his name was Cardell.
Whatever.
Oh, okay. That's why I didn't.
Cornell.
Well, I'm always jacking up a name, and when I finally get one right, I'm gonna say it. Okay. I'm like,
all right. Well, we're gonna keep over live then.
So let me have that moment. Yeah, I finally knew something right. So nonetheless, I will give anyone an opportunity to sit down and have a real conversation with real voices, so we can give the people who look like us and who are and disadvantaged people who don't even look like us. But we want to give them a choice of hope, help, and healing, because we're so broken in America and we need real voices out here. We don't need people trying to be cute and make sure they articulate themselves with every word.
Yeah, we need a not Stacy. We need a Stacy in that, and we need a Stacy that fits Texas. Someone who's gonna be a mover and shaker instead of, like the gentleman said.
Well,
whenever you're ready for that, if any of those people you mentioned come on your show, I'm a good cook, so I'll make dinner right here.
I'm saying,
I'm sure they don't want to
bring the popcorn and the beer.
Well, they probably don't want to really wrestle with the reality, because the name speaks for itself. She's the real deal. When she comes, here she comes, and
I'm gonna put it in the universe. And those people you spoke about, they come on your show. I'll cook dinner for them. I make the best. Just name it, and I make. If mine isn't the best, it's in the top 10.
You gonna bring some cornbread?
Hey, I make cornbread several different ways.
Well, I want hot water bread. Let's go way back. I want some hot water bread with some red beans
in it.
With some red beans, some
ham.
Beans with the ground beef in it. Let's go on back with it. Well, if you don't use ground beef, ground turkey, them chili beans that Mama used to cook a pot of and had that hot water bread.
You name it.
You get me hungry already. I'm ready.
I'm rubbing my knees. So Miss Yolanda, thank you. Mr. Ruffin, Reggie, thank you. Just Cause Coalition and Miss Yolanda. And again, your organization is what?
Tech for Heroes.
Tech for Heroes, which teaches veterans how to become tech savvy, and they need it very badly in today's world. I can't say thank you enough. And again, we put out in the universe, if any candidate wants to come on here with a real voice to give people a real choice of hope, help, and healing, hey, we're waiting for you. And remember, your voice gives you a choice. Don't waste your vote. Do your homework. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Thank you. I'm the reality coach, and we're out.
Yay.
Bye-bye, dear.
Bye-bye.
There she go, the reality leaving truth, knowledge, wisdom, shades on. There she go, the reality leaving truth,